Hi there, this is a quick demonstration of the new Nikkor 18 to 35 millimeter f 3.5 to 4.5 G type lens. It's been announced in January this year, 2013. Now it's the beginning of April. I only had this lens for a day. I took it for a quick spin. Took a few hundred test images with it, and just to give you my first impressions, I was looking for reviews of this lens on the internet, and I couldn't find any viable reviews, especially not on YouTube, so I decided to do one myself. I'm not going to post any sample images blown up to 100%. You can find some on Ken Rockwell's website or on DP Review, although I can't identify with all the findings of these two reviewers, so I decided to do my own. This is not a review really. This is just a demonstration, first impressions, only after a day's use. It hasn't seen any professional use yet. It's going to change tonight, and I'm going to annotate this video with my findings from a proper press job. But here you go. I've ordered this lens because I went through a number of wide zoom lenses from Nikon, and I use these lenses for professional press photography, and I wasn't happy with their performance. I started out with the 2470. I ordered it with my D3 and wasn't really good enough, wasn't sharp enough. I went to this lens, the 1735, and I wasn't happy with that either. So this is my third try for a decent wide zoom lens for Nikon, and hopefully this is going to work out. The packaging, you get a box. I'll just let me move this from the way. You get this box. It has made in China on it. It's a Chinese made lens, but I don't think that should be a major problem. It only means that it's not the top range professional lens. It's an enthusiast lens, and Nikon seems to get these manufactured over in China or Thailand, if I remember well. You're going to get this little package, little pouch, soft pouch. I'm not sure what people use these for. I would never use any pouches like this, soft pouches for carrying lenses. I always carry it in a camera bag or in a padded case. These are some manuals. You get, for some reason, you get 3. I think these are in all sorts of languages. That's why. And this is how it comes in this little this little plastic case. Be careful when you're unwrapping it, because as it snaps, it's pretty stiff, and my lens jumped out from it. I caught it in mid-air, so be careful when you're opening it. But I like it. It's pretty solid, so it shouldn't get damaged during transport. Back to the lens. It's on my old battered D3 on FX frame, and my first impressions are kind of mixed results, but all in all it's positive. Let me compare it with another G-type lens just for the size. Here it is on the camera. There you go. Just take it off. Just for size, this is the 50mm G-type. It's obviously significantly larger, but not that much heavier. You don't feel a massive difference. When you start feeling a difference, it's when you get this lens, the 17-35mm 2.8 D-type lens AFS. This is almost twice as heavy as this lens. It has 1mm plus range, 17 instead of 18mm, but this is twice as heavy, bulky. It's a tank. It's a great lens. For some reason, maybe it's only mine, but it wasn't sharp enough for my work, for full-length pictures of people, and I had to replace it. It's just not working out for me, and I didn't like its size and the weight, so I was looking for something lighter, and here it goes. So this is just a quick view in natural light. You get the autofocus switch, manual to manual and auto focus. It's pretty positive, but I always manage to flick it on other lenses, on my 50mm by accident, so I expect it's going to happen here. And if you're doing a job, you just have to react quickly. It takes 77mm filter, the same as the 17-35. So I'm just going to swap it from one to another one. This is going off to Nikon for a quick calibration job before I'm selling it. Compared to the 17-35, the obvious difference is size and weight. This is a tank. This is a professional range lens. Unlike this one, this is an enthusiast range, but it's gonna see some professional use. I think it's not as fast as the 17-35's autofocus, but it's noticeably sharper compared with my 50mm. And my benchmark for sharpness is this lens, the 70-200 AFS lens, the VR2 model. This is the Nikon's latest bad boy for professional photographers. Obviously the difference is massive, but I compare sharpness of all my other lenses to this one. This is pin razor sharp. This is a fantastic lens. I love it, and I use it for, I'd say, 70% of all my shots. As compared to the new 16-35, I held it in my hand. I tried it on a camera. I don't own it, but it's a faster lens, obviously. It's double the price, almost double the price of the 18-35, and I think it's a better built lens, but it's much heavier, it's bulkier, so I basically went for this one. If I find that I'm not happy with this, I'm going to switch to the other one. I'll probably buy the 16-35mm. Don't confuse this lens with the 18-35 D-type lens. It's a much cheaper lens. It's an older lens. It's the predecessor of this lens. So this is a G-type. Don't confuse the two. Sharpness, if my 70-200 or my 300mm lens, 2.8 AFS2 that I'm using, if I give those a mark of 10 out of 10, this is going to be somewhere on the scale of 8. It's good enough, it's sharp enough, but it's not blindingly sharp. It's not razor being sharp as the 70-200. It's going to be sharper than my 17-35mm, and For me, your mileage may vary, but for me, sharpness is the number one most important factor when I'm buying a lens. It's the bottom line. I can't use anything but absolutely sharp lenses. That sharpness is decent. It isn't on the level of the 7-200 or the 300 2.8, but it's definitely good enough for work. The autofocus, I'd give it 8 out of 10 again, or 7 out of 10. It's not the sharpest lens. It's about as fast as the 50mm G-type. It's not super fast, but it is fast enough. I think it is going to be good enough for professional use as well. What I'm impressed with though is the barrel distortion. It's much better than the 1735, and it is pretty impressive what Nikon has done with this lens. It's barely noticeable. Vignetting is very well controlled. Chromatic aberration is excellent, I would say. You don't see the blue lines on the edges on high contrast objects. Colors are great as far as I can tell. Bought the lens for £550. It's going to be about half the price of the new 16-35 f4. I think that's a good price. It's a fairly good price. I bought it on eBay from a UK seller. I had it shipped within 24 hours. I was quite impressed. So happy with that. Happy with the price. I think its performance is adequate to the price. I think £550 for a lens like this is a decent deal. Try it for yourself and let me know what you think. I will conclude with a quick demonstration of the autofocus on the D3. You can just see how fast it's going to be. 1 sec. So this is what you get with the lens. I hope you enjoyed the little display, and good luck with your photography. Bye.